This is Positive Ashley popping in for a live with my little mini right here. She's sleeping, so I'm just gonna lay here with her. This isn't the live that I wanted to do today, but it's been called on me to talk about it since people have a huge misconception about paid family leave and, when people have babies on a whim. So, as if you've been following my story, you know that I had an unplanned pregnancy. And if you are currently pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant, I strongly urge you to dig deep in your financial bag, dig deep into your hustle mode to create either a savings plan to get pregnant, or if you are pregnant, hustling it out until the baby gets here and paying things off, creating a fund for it, and whatever your birth plan is prior to having your baby, postpartum, being set up. Now, this is a must need, whether you are in a relationship with someone or being a single parent. And if you're a single parent, I'm going to give you a high five right now, because if you're in a city, we all know the cost of living is way more excruciating to, you know, take time off while having a baby if you're not set up for that. And if you're one of the people who are financially straight to have a nanny, to have a partner that's willing to take care of you, I give you, your high five as well. If you're just figuring it out, I give you a high five for tuning into this video to guide you or to give you extra support or suggestions when it comes to financially planning for a baby. Before jumping into this, I want to recommend a few movies and documentaries to watch to assist in your mental framing of the cost of being born. Pregnancies, pregnant mothers, babies, it is definitely a supply and demand situation that won't stop. From hospitals to birth centers to having a birth at home, those things all cost. Now I'm going to give you guys a bit of my background as far as, like, since I had an unplanned birth, what that looked like up until now financially. So I was working as a behavioral therapist, and I knew that once Bean got here, baby Bean, that I would take a year off. I always knew that I wanted to take off for at least a year and be a stay-at-home mom and potentially be a homeschooling mom. And my partner is mentally prepared for that. So, at the time, me and my partner didn't live together, but now we do. And so, as a behavioral therapist, I I had just came back from my trip to Bali, so I took off work for a month last year. And then, if you know anything about the school system, when spring break, winter break, summer break comes, teachers and staff are off on the off seasons, and they come back sooner before students get back to, get everything ready. But we have those off seasons, right? And where I am in the school district, I don't get paid for those off seasons because I'm contractual. So with this in mind, I went in advance and looked at the calendar to see what the off days were going to be, and my last day before summer got here, before going into maternity leave, and did an estimation of how much I would be getting paid and divvied that down into my 70-30% system. So how that works is 30% goes to bills, 70% goes to savings. Now, sometimes that fluctuates to 80-20, 60-40, and even reverses. So maybe 60% goes on bills and expenses, and I'm only saving 40%. It just depends on what that week looks like, what that month looks like coming up ahead, and just planning for everything in between because, I'm having an unplanned birth. Now, if I could do everything all over again, and this is something that you guys could back pocket from my experience, I did have money that I saved up, but I didn't specifically have multiple savings. I had two savings, but I didn't have any savings that went towards like, how can I say it? Like I had the savings for like, once I have the baby, this is money that I can use for, gas, bills, cell phone, whatever. And then I had my savings that yields a specific percentage as I put money in, which isn't supposed to be touched. But I didn't have any savings. I guess you can say like an emergency savings. The savings that I had was the savings that, I think everybody has that kind where you can dip in and pull from, but I didn't necessarily have just an emergency savings. I had a savings that I wanted to yield more money from and a savings that I can pull from. And I was expecting that with California having EDD, that would help supplement a lot of income. EDD is not for the weak. I'll say that again. EDD is not for the weak. California does have a lot of resources for pregnant women and for disability and whatnot, but when I say it is not for the weak, let me give you an example. So June 13th was my maternity leave date. I applied and they said it would take 6 weeks, up to 6 weeks for it to process. In real life, 6 weeks is a month and a half. If I had to really wait 6 weeks before getting any money, that just creates a dishevel in what's going on financially, whether it's bills, whether, like that's just, it takes a long time. So, June 13th, I had maternity leave. June 17th was Father's Day. We moved into our apartment. 10 days after that, June 16th was Father's Day. 10 days after that, June 26th was when baby Bean was born. And I didn't receive my maternity leave payment from EDD until the first week of August. That was over 6 weeks, right? And mind you, I had my savings, so I wasn't down on luck, but in between then, I had to get a new radiator for my car, move in essentials, postpartum essentials, um, turning on lights, turning on electricity, gas, and things. So, and not to mention, the deposit for rent. My savings has started dwindling really fast, including my, not recertification, but when it was time to redo my insurance for the next quarter. I don't know if your insurance company is like mine, but they start doing where they're asking for majority of the money up front, which really sucks because not everybody has it, but I had it and I didn't even think about the automatic renewal. So it had took 700 or something so dollars from my account. No, 700 some dollars from my account in between that time as well. So money just like falling out of my pocket as if I'm working. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, EDD, where's my money? So in between that time, when I finally got paid in August, they only paid me $1,000 something. And I thought that was just complete fuckery because I'm like, this isn't even, this is probably just a week of work. This isn't a full month. That's why I say it's not for the week. And if you can create a financial plan up until you're pregnant and having your baby, or even having things in place um, after you have your baby, life will go a lot smoother. So from August, I received my disability. Well, that was maternity leave, but in August, I received papers to get disability, and I got them signed off, sent them back. Haven't gotten contact, haven't heard anything back from EDD, so I decided to call, but couldn't get through. And when you call EDD, it is a hit or miss, literally. Like, I went from being able to get into contact with somebody, like being on hold for an hour to 2 hours at a time, to not being able to get through the line at all. Like, it'll just say there's too many people making calls at this time, and it'll disconnect the call. So I finally got through to someone September, the end of September, and they said, hey, we didn't receive your disability papers. Just give us some time, just wait. And I'm just like, wait for how much long? Like, this is now another 2 months about to happen where I'm not getting any cash flow. This is a problem. And so they were like, hey, there's nothing we can do. Labor Day backed us up, so just hold tight. So as it's getting closer to my birthday month, well, birthday week, I'm like, okay, I still haven't got any money. Like, I'm gonna keep calling, nothing's happening. I even was like, okay, maybe I'll go to the office in person, which I heard can also be a hit or miss. But I'd rather see somebody versus the phone disconnecting because there's too many people calling. And Lord behold, I called today, and although I didn't get any representatives, I decided to call paid family leave because paid family leave is different from disability, which is different from unemployment. So I called paid family leave, and I wasn't able to get to anybody, but it had asked me if I wanted to check my claim. So I decided to do that. Like, okay, let me see the process of it. Like, maybe somebody received it, it just hasn't been processed, or maybe they received the papers in this week and I just have to wait and talk to somebody. Who knows? But as I did the voice automated thing, it had stated that the claim had been processed and I was being paid from August to October 24th, and the payment had been released to my card October 24th. And I'm like, October 24th? It's October 29th. Oh shit, I got paid. And so my assumption is I got back pay because I don't know how much money I was supposed to get from paid family leave, but I applied for both disability and paid family leave. I'm just not sure which is which because I called the paid family leave number. So I don't know if that's just like the amount of money I received. I don't know. I even checked my EDD online thing, like the inbox, and I haven't received anything. It doesn't say that I've been paid out. It doesn't say any claims. I haven't received anything in a mail. And the reason why I'm stressing this out because, one, I didn't receive FMLA for my job because, one, I'm contract, and two, to receive FMLA, you have to work over 1,250 hours for the entire year. But when you consider all those breaks and gaps into the year, summer, winter, spring break, holidays, all that, and on top of me taking appointments, because guess what? Doctors aren't being seen on the weekend unless it's an emergency. I have to take appointments during the week, which cuts into my hours at my job, unfortunately. So essentially, I would have never made that 1,250 hours. So I never got FMLA, even though I've been with the company I'm with for over 2 years. That sucked to find out. But I'm glad that California does have that resource to still get paid because other states don't. But the fact that you have to wait so long to receive it, if I was living by myself and I didn't have a partner that was the head of the household that's taking care of everything, I would be SOL, shit out of luck. Not in the most horrible way because I have credit cards that I haven't had to tap into until I got into this situation, but now I have to pay it back. Great, I have money now to pay it back, but now I also have to have money coming in. I do have a business, but as I got closer to my third trimester, I decided to just pull out of my business, which means for me putting it at a standstill because my business, it's a physical service one, but it's also one that requires a lot of backseat planning. And I was not in the mental space, especially postpartum, to try to take on new projects, new tasks that could overwhelm me and not give me enough time to be a mom. So I mentally chose that I was going to put everything down in June, which I'm glad I did. Put everything down in June so I can just focus on being a mom because that's all I can handle right now. And I'm glad I'm honest with myself instead of, like, stressing myself out to do so. But what I will do is moving into the next year, I'm going to vamp up my merch, which has been something that I've been wanting to do anyway. Vamp up merch, so I'm making behind the scenes sales versus having to do the physical part to make money. And YouTube has definitely been helping when it comes to monetization. I'm so close. I'm so excited to get there. I'm in this slow and steady wins the race ordeal, but I'm also like, trying to give myself grace and take my time. So if I have to give any recommendations when it comes to saving, definitely take the 70/30 or 60/40 method. Make a postpartum savings, make an emergency savings, and they say, your emergency savings should be at least 3 to 6 months of your bills. Granted, I don't have a car note. I don't have a lot of the bills that some people have that would cause them to have a huge emergency savings. I think me and my partner, our bills together, they're dwindled down to just kind of the bare minimum: rent, gas, lights, phone bills. And now I have like like 3 credit cards I've been using, but they're all less than 30%. So a postpartum fund, so that's the fund that if you need anything after postpartum, whether it's gas to the doctor's appointments, co-pays, essentials like, bath stuff, pads, whatever. You should also have a baby fund. So since December, my mom opened an account for my baby, and she's been putting money in for baby bean, and I've also been putting money in for baby bean. So she has an account that I don't touch. It's not considered mine, or I mean, if she needs anything, I could use that money, but this saving is supposed to go towards just her future. I'm actually going to open her a 529A and a mutual fund. And I'm going to do that with her money. And then there should also be a savings for going out. Like being able to do stuff without feeling like you have to dip into your money. So like, how we have the checkings and savings, you need a checkings savings, like money that you can use on miscellaneous things, whether it's a spa, getting your nails done, anything like that. And of course, like, if you don't plan on going back to work for a long period of time like I am, have having that checkings and savings, that balance, it'll definitely help you out a lot because I'm not sure if I'm going back to work next year. The plan is to slowly start working towards my childcare business, revamping my personal business, and also using my UGC content as far as YouTube, Instagram, paid partnerships to overturn that. Because I have such a small bill base, I don't really need a lot of money, but my goal is to make six figures plus, and it's very much possible. So as this time, I'm transitioning into a mompreneur, and at time that takes time. So this is what this video is about: is to help motivate anybody who is about to get pregnant, need a mental adjustment of how much they should save, but also giving a background on how long it took me to get paid from EDD. I really wish I didn't even have to use them, but I mean, it is a source, and the money was, it's there for me to use, and I was granted. So I hope this video motivated someone today. Um, I can't wait to just be completely financially free. When I say financially free, for me that is not having a cap on how much I can spend and not worried about where the next dollar is going to come from. So this is Positive Ashley giving you some pretty and paid juice, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and love.